From Craig Rolson in Europe, David Gerber in Brazil, and our editor-in-chief and publisher, Don Oshman, it's time for this week's Sunday Night Week in Review.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Hidenet Sunday Night Week in Review Market Report. Today is Sunday, May 11th, 2014, and it was a very interesting week, to say the least, in the areas we cover: North America, Latin America, and Europe. Our editor by the way, my name is Don Oshman, editor-in-chief of Hidenet.com Market Reports, and we cover reports every week on North America, Latin America, Europe, and This Week in Leather. Craig Rolson, the editor of our European edition, conveyed this week that raw stock prices continue to edge lower. Even the famous bulls, the French and German bulls for the automotive industry, showed a little bit of weakness around the edges this week. So, as he said, buyers are in control of the market, and sellers are a bit defensive. Cows continue to lead the decline because of the Hebei situation or the Shandong situation, and there's probably a bunch of resales. We think there are a bunch of resales going on there now, renegotiations. It's really hit the area hard. Craig has a very good report and insight in the lamb sheep market, which has gone down a lot because of Russia, because of Turkey, because of China, and the fellmongering and all that. That's still going on. That's really hurting lamb and sheepskin prices in the EU, in that general area, UK, EU, UK, all these, US, all these abbreviations. And the end is not in sight. There's no turnaround in sight, at least in the near term. Also, there's a report on Hermes profits, on Adidas, which had a quarterly decline. Now, a lot of what Adidas makes is garments, but they're still giants in the shoe industry, so their profits were down. Also, an announcement by Tanning Tech, the fair, but the Lineapel fair in Bologna is moving to Milan, no question about that. But this past week, Tanning Tech said, we're going to. So everything that was in Bologna looks like it's going to be in Milan this fall. There was a job cuts at BASF, maybe not just restricted to the tanning industry. The forecast from Craig, nicely put, more adjustments to come. Those are not upward adjustments. He also has a very, very good editorial. He always writes a good editorial, I think, about the Ukrainian crisis not going away and what it means to the hide industry and the leather industry. It's a factor. By the way, speaking of factors, and speaking about what the market's going to do, and speaking about our predictions, readers find that our predictions are about 85% accurate. Are we 100% accurate? No. But for the cost of a subscription, if you can learn taking what we know, putting it with what you know, and buying or selling leather or hides or affiliated products accordingly, the cost of the subscription becomes minimal because you can make so much in just one trade. That's why you need Hidenet, and Hidenet will help your business. Another reason people tell us about why they like to read Hidenet, because they go to their suppliers who says one thing and they can say, no, Hidenet says this. No, you can't fool me. That goes on as well. And also internally, commercially, the CEO says to the hide buyer, the leather seller, how come you didn't get this? How come you didn't get that? Look, boss, here's the stuff from Hidenet. Here's what's going on. A lot of reasons Hidenet can help you. In North America this week, lower prices, but volume was good. So the market went down $1 to $3 on steers, a couple dollars or more on cows is a lot of money. But it seems that production was below sales. In other words, sales for a long time exceeded production. We won't have that exact figure for quite a while, but that's what it looks like. Eagle Ottawa, to the surprise of many people, has put themselves up for buyer's interest. If somebody's looking to buy Eagle Ottawa, the world's largest automotive tanner, automotive seating tanner, they can approach Eagle, and Eagle will say, oh, that's interesting, we want this, we want that, we'll let you know, but we're open to some ideas. There's a very good article on Hong Kong in March, the first part of April. Leather International, Lectra Cutting Information, and Leather Naturally sponsored a roundtable, which I was honored to participate in and conduct one of the roundtable sessions. And industry leaders from all over the world got together, and we discussed various issues. That's available to all subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber, if you get a trial subscriber, subscription, it's available to you. Very interesting what the industry's movers and shakers think, how to solve the problems in the industry, how to solve the issues, and benefit the whole industry. So we recommend you're asking for that. Just send an email to info at hidenet.com. And with, of course, your email address, and we'll send you out a copy of it. Very interesting. And again, if you're not a subscriber, sign up for a free trial, and you can still get this article. Speaking of articles, there's another excellent article that Steve Softman, who is president of the United States Hide and Skin and Leather Association, in cooperation with the board of directors, published two letters, if you will, or white papers, if you will. One talks about the grading situation, the yield situation in American hides, how it's changed, how it's going to change. And the other one talks about the cattle supply, why it is like it is, and where it's heading. Two very, very interesting articles, also available to subscribers, current subscribers or trial subscribers, by sending an email to info@hidenet.com. Exports were very, very good, by the way, in the North American market this week, and wet blue sales surprised everybody, hitting a 7-year high. Hadn't been that many wet blue exports reported in 1 week in 7 years. Also, the combined export and domestic sales, wet blue, wet salted, hit 811,000 pieces. That's when you had, and that's with a slaughter of considerably below 600,000. So that did not hurt the market, to say the least. Combined outstanding sales rose 6%, and shipments were down 4% compared to the previous week. But the most important is that sales surpassed slaughter and surpassed shipments. Meanwhile, kills are still low. Our editorial, or our prediction, our long-term forecast, our longer-term forecast in the North American market report is titled, "Is 811,100 enough?" In other words, total sales with domestic consumption, exports, wet blue and wet salt, 811,100. Will that be enough to stem the tide? Again, read this if you're a subscriber. If you're not, get a free trial and read what it has to say. We're right about 85% of the time. Latin America this week, no country is an island, except America is an island, I guess. What's going on is, it's not an island either. What's going on in Latin America, especially Brazil, which kind of is the key down there, the fresh green hide prices rose again, which is insane because producers who were trying to get $2.10 a foot for their TR1 wet blue have no chance of getting that now. Now it looks like most interest is at $2 or $2 below, but nobody's willing to take those prices yet. Then the split market came down, as it has every place else in the world, meaning that the yield, the return to tanners who were paying X for hides and getting Y out of the splits, now have X minus Y. Their return on their splits is down, making the cost of their hides higher, forgetting about lower markets. Takes away some of the advantage of the lower market. We also talked about, I just talked to you about the split market down there and what's going on. So the tanners are behind the 8 ball. They had to pay more for their green hides because of competition, severe competition. And now they haven't made the move yet, but our expert David Holes, editor of our Brazilian report, thinks they're going to have to take less money this week or next week for their wet blue, for their crust, for everything. That remains to be seen, but that's our forecast. This week in leather, we talk about Clariant, who closed their sale with Stahl Chemicals. We talked about U.S. consumer spending was up. We talked about Rockport might be for sale, a division of Adidas. We talked about the EU being concerned over Indian chrome content. We talked about the tanning tech moving to Milan, like we talked about, and the Shanghai Leather and Bag Show coming up this month in a week or two in Shanghai. All kinds of leather products. And looking ahead, we talk about the paradigm shift in China, which is being exacerbated by the pollution situation, not just in hides, not just in leather, but throughout the whole country. And hides, tanning is not going to be left behind. The whole industry, whole industry in the world, in the government, in the Chinese, in the country, is under close observation now, what they're putting out into the air and putting out into the water and streams. So we ask you to get a free trial to Hidenet, see what we're all about. Those of you who are subscribers and who watch these videos, thank you very much. We've been hearing very nice things about these reports from people literally all over the world. We have subscribers in over 60 countries. Nice to hear from you. If you have any questions, things you want to discuss, or things you want to bring up in these videos, or if you want to talk to me personally, our other editors, just drop in a line to info@hidenet.com. That's it for tonight. It's a little long. I'm sorry. I tried to talk slower because so many of you don't have English as your first lesson first language, not your first language. So I try to talk a little bit slower. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your watching. Next week, we'll see you again. Bye.